so the fall activity report. Again, you've gone to online.kkytbs.org, logged in, and you're going over here to the paperwork section. Clicking on fall activity report, it'll give you a whole gamut of things to fill out. This is a big report. This is one that you need to start early on and work diligently because the due date is December 1st, and you don't ever want to turn it in late December or late November because it's the holiday season. People are going to Thanksgiving and everything. Don't ever be late on this. So, starting off, you'll be given stuff that you can't change. All this stuff needs to be filled out in other forms, and we can talk about that later. But you'll go all the way down to the stuff that you can change right here. And so it starts off with activities and operations. Basically, you are going to enter every single event that has happened over the course of the year right here. Now, what is very important to know about this is making sure that the other officers are getting information to you. It's not your job to know the activities of every person. But you need to talk to the other officers, the social chair, the treasurer, the music chair, or basically anything and then the president, and the vice president of service, and they will give you a list of the activities they have done over the course of the year. You'll need to ask them for the name of the activity, when it was, where it was, and then a brief description on the event. So, once you have done that, you can go in here and enter any event. So you can say, I have an ice cream party. It was on May 4th, even though that's not in the fall. It was at, whatever location, and then you describe it here. Once the event has been described and you need to add another, obviously click Add Another, and it will give you as many options as you want, and you can list, hundreds, thousands of things if you need to. However, no matter how many things you enter, do not ever press the back button before you save your draft, because that will just make you very sad. Anyway, this is where you yourself will need to differentiate things where where instead of just activities, we have done an activity that specifically promoted college bands. Now, we can talk about that later and what is supposed to go under there, because you can find that. But basically, any activities that have been listed here that just basically don't fall under an event we held, but something specifically that promoted college bands, listed here. Obviously here, in November, we have our National Month of Music. List any musical activities that we've held here. It can range from, ushering to holding a concert to going somewhere and doing something with another chapter, whatever it is. And you'll list all those here. And then right here, this is an important section to read through. So, did your chapter have a membership class in the fall? If no, you may skip the membership education syllabus section below and submit your report. Now, since we don't ever have a rush class in the fall, you will select no. And basically, you will skip this section down here, but you still need to be filling in these questions right here. And this is where you need to get in touch with the Vice President of Membership, because he or she will answer these questions and get the answers to you, and you can just copy and paste into these boxes. However, since we're holding rush events during the fall semester, that will go in under activities. So you'll list all those here. So you do need to get in touch with him both for these questions and for the events he's held throughout the year. Anyway, since we don't have a rush class, we go in and we don't have to do this because they simply don't need to see it. And then down here, this is important. If at any time you need to stop your paperwork, you'll click Not Submitted and Save Draft. Please, please, please do this before you exit out. Otherwise, you'll just have to start all over. So make sure you're always saving as draft when you leave. You can complete this as quickly or as slowly as you want. Just make sure you don't ever lose your progress, because you yourself will be upset. So that's pretty much all you need to know for the fall activity report in terms of doing it. But what if you don't know what it's supposed to look like? If you don't know what's supposed to go under some sections, go to Search Submissions, You'll select the Delta chapter, submission type, fall activity report, transaction completed. It will list you results here, and you go in and find one. Say, okay, well, I'm not really sure about this section where it says, what have we done to promote college and university bands? So you're scrolling through. Let's see, where does it start? Anyways, the point is, even though I can't find it, I'm doing a bad job of demonstrating. Anyway, this will allow you to see everything that we have ever listed throughout the semester. And so, oh, these are the things that need to go in here. I'll make sure to put those in the right place. Basically, you need to get in touch with every officer and ask, what have you done? Because they want to see everything we have done. You might say, oh, this is just a formality. People don't actually read this, but they do. So you need to make sure you're listing everything. Like we've got the alumni newsletter from August and September, October, November, and December. So, I mean, even though we do the same thing and they're all the same, we need to make sure that we're putting them in there because it shows that it was something we did. So make sure you're listing all that stuff. Anyways, down here, this is where the VPM has answered his questions. And we've gone through the rest of that. And since we didn't have a rush class, we obviously didn't fill out the membership education syllabus. So that's a way you can go and find out what's supposed to be in the form if you're ever unsure. So remember, whenever you need to fill out the fall activity report, come over here, fall activity report. It needs to be submitted before December 1st. Really, weeks before December 1st, because don't ever let it be that late. Otherwise, you'll just be penalized and will kind of go on probation because the paperwork was late. And we don't want that. So anyway, that's all you need to know for the fall activity report.